Greetings, chemistry students. Today, we're going to talk about chemical kinetics, which is how fast chemical reactions take place. I've just got, for our last few days, that we're going to be learning a few kind of random little topics that we're going to go through. We're going to start today with chemical kinetics, or how fast reactions happen. So there's this thing called collision theory, which says that in order for a chemical reaction to happen, the molecules involved have to physically collide with each other. So if you consider any chemical reaction, for instance, the combustion of butane, the butane molecules and oxygen molecules have to physically come into contact with each other and have to have enough energy when they do it and be lined up in just the right way for the reaction to happen. So that's what collision theory says. And how many effective collisions you have determines how fast the reaction goes. So the more times everything collides in just the right way, the faster you get a reaction. So there are 5 ways to increase the rate of a reaction. The first way is you increase the concentration or molarity of the reactants. If you have more of the reactants, they're more likely to run into each other. It's kind of like, if you think back to when we were in school, you're more likely to bump into someone in the hallway during a class change than you are if you're just going to the bathroom during class, because the more people there are, the more likely you are to accidentally bump into somebody. Second thing you could do is, if there's a gas, you could increase the pressure, which is essentially the same as increasing the concentration. You're just putting everything closer together, so it's more likely to bump into each other. Third, you could increase the surface area. So particularly for solids, if you grind it up into a powder or you somehow open it up so that the other reactants are more able to get in there and collide with the particles, you're going to get a faster reaction. The fourth way is increase the temperature. And if you remember from our little unit on gas laws, the higher the temperature, the faster everything's going. So the more likely they are to have the right amount of energy, and they're going to collide with each other more often. And the last thing you could do is you can add what's called a catalyst, or in biology class, you learn that these are called enzymes. These are substances that they lower the energy required, what's called the activation energy. They lower the energy required for the reaction to happen, but they're not used up. So it allows more molecules to react with the right energy or with the right orientation, and so you get a faster reaction. Particularly biological enzymes, the way they typically work is one of the reactants binds to one part of the enzyme, another reactant binds to the other part, and then the enzyme kind of folds up and puts everything together in just the right way so that the reaction happens fast enough for life to be sustained. Pretty much every chemical reaction in your body is catalyzed by at least one catalyst. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you a few little demonstration videos that I've prepared for you, and then you're going to have a few little questions to answer about all.